I'm going to give it 3.5 pawns.
I would do 4 and 1 drunken.
Wow, 4.
Yes.
4.5.
Yeah.
5 pawns. 5 pawns. This is a golden pawn game. Welcome everyone to another review portion of the Drunken Pawn. I'm Steven, there's Maurice, and there's Basil. Behind the camera we have Teresa.
Bam!
We just got done playing the classic, very old Catan.
Yeah.
The Settlers of
It's
Catan.
not really very old.
It's from 95. It's
Older
almost
than-
30 years old.
That's right. Some of these people are just entering the workforce
What are
that are the
doing?
age of Catan.
I didn't
Oh
know
no, it's
you-
35? I know, some people are still just entering the workforce at the age of 35. 35?
30.
30.
It's almost 30 years old.
Oh,
almost.
it's 27?
It's
Yes.
currently 27.
Stand by my statement.
Yeah, so this is an oldie but goodie. We had a really great playthrough. Maurice won.
Swept
Hence
it,
the-
man.
hence
Not
the-
even close.
Not
yeah,
even
he
close.
destroyed us.
You had
You sure it
5
wasn't even
points.
close?
Basil had 3 points.
3
Okay,
points.
not even close. Got
Yeah.
it. Fair
Oh,
enough.
I beat Basil?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because you got that guy.
Yeah, otherwise you would have tied.
All right. Well, anyways, we had watched that playthrough because we did have 3 Catan-themed beers from Champion Brewing, which were all delicious in their own ways. So you definitely want to check out that playthrough. But we're going to get to this review. Go, Maurice.
Okay, so I totally understand why this game is kind of a modern classic. It just has all the simple elements of a little bit of chance. Well, actually, sorry, a lot of chance, but a fair amount of strategy. And there's something to the gentle nature of the strategy where, like, so in comparison with a game like Dune, where you're also managing resources, you're also kind of moving pieces on a board. It's not very similar in the board fashion, but Dune makes you feel like you're at work a little bit, and I love it. But it makes me feel like I have an Excel spreadsheet in front of me, and I need to conquer it with algorithms. This is just like, okay, I've got 4 things I can do. I have the resources I need. I get to trade with my friends on my turn. The Robber is such a clutch addition. I think I understand why this game is a classic.
Want to go, Basil?
So this is the first time I played this. And I'm trying, like, for my review, I'm trying to keep in mind that how old this game is. Because I've played a lot of games that are like this, and they probably, got their origins from playing Catan. So,
Oh, yeah, I can definitely see a lot of influences. I mean, just by looking at it, you think of the train one.
Oh, Ticket to
Ride.
Ticket to
Ride.
Ride.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Bees.
Bees.
Oh, for
with
sure,
the
yeah.
hexagon tiles
Yeah.
moving around.
The trellis game.
Yeah, there's so many that I'm sure are influenced.
One of the first games we played, or one of the first games we tried to create, actually used a system like this, and we had never played Catan before. And then we invited a friend to come play test it with us, and he was like, "Oh, this is like violent Catan."
Yeah.
We're like, what are you talking about? He was like, "This is a lot like Catan, but just violent."
Yeah, I remember that.
So,
And another thing that I'm trying to keep from impacting my review is just how much this is built up. Because, like, this is the board game,
the
for people to get into board games with. And I've obviously played quite a few board games before jumping into this one, where most people, that's probably not the case. Most people, they probably
it's almost-
jump into this and then go off into more detailed things or in-depth things or whatever. So, overall, I enjoyed it. I think it's, I think it's very well done. It's a very simple strategic game. Like you said, you have a limited number of things you can do. So yeah, overall, I thought it was pretty good.
You can't deny the reputation it has. There's so many people I follow and groups that I follow where people get in there and talk about how this is the game that got them into board game. I mean, it's just everywhere. So you can't deny that. But for me, like, sometimes there was, I don't know if maybe it was just how I was placing things or whatever, but there was a lot of turns where I just didn't do anything.
Yep.
And it's like, that's rough for me in a game, like where I'm just like, okay, I rolled, okay, done.
Spinning your wheels.
Yeah, that's rough. That's rough for me to do. I don't know. Like I said, it could be just been the way I place stuff. I don't know.
But
it was also
the exact same thing.
And it's also the rolls we were getting were just, it was like 9s, 8s, 9, 8, 9, 8, like over and over again. And it was like, and then it wasn't that, it was the robber. So it was like, okay. So there was just really hard.
Yeah. Or stuff
for
nobody
us to
had.
get. And since Maurice had, the 8s pretty much locked and stuff, and he had, 9s and 8s pretty much locked down, as you can see on the board here. He had, before he even had cities here, he had the settlements here. He was just getting resources like crazy. And me and Basil were just like, okay. Like, yeah, so, but, we did end up being able to do a couple things, but I don't know. It was just felt very one-sided, but it could have just been, like I said, the way we placed. I don't know. So that kind of hurt it for me a little bit. Otherwise, like, I love the artwork in it. The artwork's great, but there's so many editions of this now. I think the artwork's different almost in every edition that you're going to get. Plus, there's, like, IP-themed ones, too, that have different things that happen. Like, I know there's Star Trek. I think there's Game of Thrones. I think there's all kinds of stuff.
Those make sense.
Lord of the
Make a lot of
Rings.
sense.
Lord of the Rings, yeah. There's a ton
Much
of
sense.
different IPs now.
And there's a butt ton of expansions. So if you were like brand new to board games and you didn't know anything about board games, and you go into a board game store and you see that there are 2 whole bookshelves full of just Settlers of Catan and all of its expansions and IPs and everything.
That's kind of intimidating.
It's intimidating, and it's also like, okay, well, maybe this is the one I should start with.
True.
Oh, because there's so much content.
Yeah.
For me, whenever I see that, like with Munchkins or whatever, I steer away from that.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, this...
I don't
they're
know which one
It's just
to-
a cash grab.
Yeah.
Or how do I crack into this?
Yeah,
You know?
I don't. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's kind of how the way I feel about it too. Even though I like Munchkins too, I have several Munchkins. It's kind of like, it's intimidating to me. It's like, man, what do I start with? Like, do I start with just the original, or do I go with one of the IP ones? Like what I like, and then at that point, I'm just like, oh, I'll just grab Tavern of the Teeth and Saw or something. Like, there's only one of them. I'll just grab that.
Yeah.
But yeah, what are you gonna give it pawn wise? This classic.
So, given that, I think maybe another problem we were experiencing really was the true random nature yielded some very inequitable areas of the board.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to weight it based off of like how you would initially for a starter game place all the chips and stuff like that. It's a great game.
Right.
I
Yeah,
think.
we should caveat that too. Like we did this randomly. There is a beginner setup for it that's a little bit more
Balanced.
A little bit more balanced. So there's that too. So just keep that in mind when you're. We did not do that.
So, one thing that it's missing for me is one level of complexity. I want one more option, which is probably what the expansions are for, to be fair.
There, yeah.
But one more level of complexity. So for that reason, I had a lot of fun. It's an easy game to break into. It's colorful. It's a little bit tactile for the beginning. It deserves no less than... But here's... I have to caveat it because I have not played this game in 3 years. It has been offered, and I cannot seem to get around to playing this game again for some reason. So, for all those things combined, high, but I think fair, 4.
What do you think, Basil?
So, to be completely honest, I am really torn between a 3.5 and a 4. I think I'm going to lean 4 just because of the history. You know, like I said, we wouldn't have a lot of the games in the game players that we have today if it wasn't for this game. And for that, I will give it a 4.
Beautiful.
I'm right there with you guys. I'm definitely giving this a 4. It's not my style of game. I'm not a like I said. There's just too much where there's nothing going on.
It's hard to get stiffed every turn. for a
Yeah,
while.
it sucks. And yeah, so but I agree with all your guys' points on why to give it a higher score because the community would be a lot smaller without it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just simple enough for people to get started in, but it's not complex enough for people like us that like more complex games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So 4 it is. 4 all around
across the board.
That means if you've never played Catan, like everybody else will tell you, play this game. Check it out. And you'll probably have a good time with it, and then move on to the more complex games.
Village.
Yeah, Village. Oh man, that would be a great follow up to this.
In my head, like the houses represent mini games of Village. I don't know
exactly.
why.
Like if
It's
this is the
nonsense,
settlement,
but-
the village settlement.
Yeah.
That you like, if you were to go
Uh-huh.
into this game, the settlement would be Village.
Yes. So during the apocalypse, every time someone places a house, you have to go play a game of Village, and whoever wins that gets to put their house there. The game takes 5 years, and the real game is who doesn't starve to death.
Maybe we'll play it
Bam.
when the apocalypse happens.
Be a hell of
But
a game.
otherwise,
Yeah, and then we can play Risk when we move the robber.
oh lord, that would take 20 years.
Oh, I love Risk.
You gotta occupy. I mean, Netflix is going away, so
Yeah, that's true. Good point. Anyways, we'll see you next time. Make sure you make loud noises on that subscribe button. Like, comment, do all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Just keep an eye out on the channel because we got plenty of stuff coming
okay,
in the
so much
future.
stuff.
We're not losing any steam anytime soon. Hopefully, we'll be at Origins
Got
again
plenty
this
of
year.
steam.
So much Steam. Access
We
to
may
Steam,
even
really.
be going to PAX.
We have a Steam problem, to be honest with
Oh
you.
yeah, we have some talks about maybe checking out PAX Unplugged later this year.
Woo! Is that like a
Even
unplugged
bigger.
album, like when Nirvana's all acoustic?
Well, PAX is
Nirvana was a band once upon a time.
PAX is a video game convention, but PAX Unplugged is the board game.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
Board game convention in
In-
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia.
Oh,
Philly!
I love Philly.
Wow,
So
we all
much
love Philly.
fun.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll see you next time here on the Drunken Bond.